In boxing history, some moments transcend sport, moments that become timeless phenomena. One such moment unfolded when the heavyweight champion Joe Frazier locked horns with the controversial Muhammad Ali in the hallowed grounds of Madison Square Garden. But beyond the historic hype, what was it about Ali versus Frazier that captivated the world's imagination? Join us as we revisit this legendary clash. Ali versus Frazier were undefeated champions with genuine claims to world heavyweight champion in 1971. Ali had won the title from Sonny Liston in Miami Beach in 1964 and had successfully defended it until it was removed by boxing officials in 1967 for refusing enrollment into the military services. But he was still recognized as the lineal heavyweight champion. In Ali's absence, Frazier won 2 championship belts, defeating Buster Mathis to be recognized as the winner in a total of 5 states, and Jimmy Ellis, who won in a WBA elimination match to win the world title to succeed Ali as the acknowledged, unified world champion. Because Frazier was arguably Ali's equal, there was a lot of buzz and expectation for a match between the two unbeaten fighters to determine who was the actual heavyweight champ. Ringside seats were $150, and each man received a guaranteed $2.5 million. Aside from the millions who watched on closed-circuit television screens worldwide, the Garden was packed with a sellout audience of 20,455, providing a $1.5 million gate. Ali had shown unusual quickness and agility for a man his stature before his forced layoff. He had crushed most of his opponents to anticipate the round where he would knock them out frequently. In his first battle after a 3.5-year break, he stopped Jerry Quarry by cuts after 3 rounds in October of 1970. However, in his following bout, the one before the Frazier battle, Ali labored at points during his 15th round TKO of Oscar Bonavena, an unconventional Argentinian boxer trained by Hall of Fame trainer Gil Clancy. On the March 4th, 1971 broadcast of The Dick Cavett Show, Howard Cosell, Joe Louis, and Jimmy Breslin accurately predicted that Frazier would win due to Ali's extended layoff. Frazier had an excellent left hook and was a relentless competitor who viciously targeted his opponent's body. Despite suffering from a significant bout of hypertension in the days leading up to the fight, he seemed to be in prime shape as the two unbeaten champions faced battle. Before the fight, Sports Illustrated's Mark Cram wrote, "The impact of this fight on the public consciousness is incalculable. It's been a never-ending whirlwind that appears to have gotten louder with each fresh soliloquy from Ali and each dead calm vow from Frazier. It has piqued the interest of ring theorists and pushed forth polemicists of all stripes. It has slashed deep into the thicket of our national views, and it is a conversational compulsion everywhere. From the gabble of big city salons and industry lunch breaks, teeming with illogical labels to slum saloons with their fake labels." Gil Clancy, who was in Frazier's corner that night, remarked, "The electricity in the air was just unbelievable back then. The country would not have been able to run if the bomb had been placed on Madison Square Garden that night." On the evening of the match, Madison Square Gardens was transformed into a carnival, with dozens of police officers on hand to keep the crowd of extravagantly dressed fans, children, and various celebrities, from Norman Mailer to Woody Allen, under control. Nelson Mandela, who was in jail in South Africa at the time of the event, commented about how enthusiastic everyone was about the battle. Leroy Neiman, an artist, painted Ali and Frazier during their fight. The closed-circuit telecast featured color commentator Burt Lancaster. Despite having never worked as a sports commentator, Lancaster was recruited by the fight's promoter, Jerry Parenchio, who was also a friend. Parenchio persuaded sports tycoon Jack Kent Cooke to financially sponsor the bout, providing a $4 million bank guarantee covering most of the boxer's $5 million cost. Don Dunphy, a legendary boxing play-by-play announcer, and Archie Moore, a former light heavyweight boxing champion and heavyweight fighter, were the other commentators. A record for a television event, the fight was marketed and closed-circuit televised in 12 languages to 50 countries, using ringside reporters and an estimated 300 million spectators. Riots erupted at multiple venues during the third round as the unresolved technical difficulties disrupted the broadcast in several cities. Although no live radio coverage of the fight was permitted under the terms of the promotion, the Mutual Radio Network did broadcast the fight on March 8th with announcers Van Patrick and Charles King, as well as many other sports commentators providing round-by-round summaries live as they were released over the UPI and AP wire services. Arthur Mercante Sr., the referee, spent the night breaking up Ali's clinching and restraining Frazier behind the head. After the fight, Mercante, a seasoned referee of hundreds of fights, commented, "They both threw around some of the best punches I've ever seen." Many viewers were surprised when the match reached the entire 15-round championship distance. Ali controlled the opening 5 rounds, peppering Frazier with rapier-like punches that produced welts on his face. Ali was noticeably exhausted by the 6th round, and while throwing a few punches after that, he could not maintain the tempo he had established in the opening portion of the battle. Following his clean left hook to Ali's right jaw, 1 minute and 59 seconds into round 8, Frazier seized Ali's wrists and threw Ali towards the center of the ring. However, Ali promptly grabbed Frazier again until Mercante separated them. Frazier struck Ali with a left hook to the right jaw 9 seconds into the 11th round, and Ali slumped to the canvas with gloves and his right knee touching. Regardless, Mercante did not announce a knockdown or call time to clean the canvas as if Ali had slipped on a moist spot. Instead, Mercante brushed it aside as if it had never occurred. Mercante signaled the fighters to re-engage at 18 seconds into round 11. Frazier staggered Ali with another left hook at 2:10 of the round, Ali's legs collapsing and only bouncing off the ropes prevented Ali from hitting the canvas once again. For the rest of the round, Ali limped about the ring, retreating against the ropes and grasping at Frazier. At the same time, Frazier continued hitting him until Mercante separated the boxers at 2 minutes and 55 seconds into the round. All 3 judges had Frazier in the lead heading into round 15, 7-6-1, 10-4-0, and 8-6-0, and Frazier closed convincingly. Frazier unleashed a left hook early in the round, knocking Ali to the canvas. Ali, his jaw visibly injured, rose at the count of 4 and remained on his feet for the rest of the round, despite many devastating strikes from Frazier. A few minutes later, the judges declared Frazier the champion unanimously, handing Ali his first professional defeat. For Ali, it was a turning point. It was now difficult to dismiss his courage, regardless of one's position on Vietnam or the draft. He started the night as the most beautiful, but he ended up as the roughest. Even with the grotesque swollen jaw, to which Diana Ross would administer a bag of ice, Kilroy's post-fight visit to the Flower First Avenue Medical Center lasted about 10 minutes, he recalls, and Ali didn't want anyone to say Joe had put him in the hospital. Following his defeat, Ali refused to openly accept defeat, instead attempting to describe the outcome in the public's perception as a white man's decision. Frazier lost the championship 22 months later when George Foreman knocked him down 6 times in the opening 2 rounds of their title fight on January 22, 1973 in Kingston, Jamaica. Ali split 2 fights with Ken Norton in 1973 and was widely considered to be on the decline before winning a rematch, Ali Frazier 2, in January 1974. That October, Ali stunned the world by defeating the much-favored Foreman in Kinshasa, Zaire, to reclaim the heavyweight title in the Rumble in the Jungle. Ali would defeat Frazier in their 3rd and last fight, the Thrilla in Manila. The social situation in America had cooled down by the time of the rematches, with the Vietnam War concluding in early 1973. Many people ignored the allegation that Ali was a traitor and was reinstated as heavyweight champion. People who had backed Frazier on political and racial grounds in the first fight to see Ali defeated were less enthusiastic when he lost his championship and abandoned him. Without the same social divide, the question of whether Ali would regain enough of his former supremacy to dominate post-layoff was partially answered. Without the push of 2 unbeaten champions meeting for the first time, neither their second nor third matchup would achieve the unprecedented hype of the first. Decades later, far into a new millennium, the fight touted as the fight of the century. Ali Frazier 1 remains the battle of any century. Other athletes naturally compare themselves to boxers because other sports are analogies to what boxing is, fighting. However, Ali and Frazier remain the boxers to whom others measure themselves. They were more than just great opponents. They were loaded with significance in a boiling, divided society, fixated on race, each serving as a conduit for something greater than himself. Each boxer came wielding a legend. Ali used the jab while Frazier used the hook. They created an endurance art form together. They had to fight each other again and again. So how did Ali and Frazier's distinct boxing styles define their rivalry and influence the sport? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, remember to like and subscribe to stay updated on all our latest content.